LA Lakers. As we all know, LeBron decided to opt out of his deal. And he's willing to wait. He's actually came out and said, or not, he didn't say directly, but indirectly, sources have said that he's willing to take a slight pay cut for the right player, for the right, whether it's a star, a very good quality, you know, top of the line role player, um, or just the overall top free agent. But it seems like every free agent that they have some interest in, or they decide to go elsewhere. Why does it seem like these players are all of a sudden deciding to go elsewhere? What do you think the cause could potentially be? K Walk, I'm gonna come to you first on this one.
Well, we I think we know what it could possibly be, but I mean, uh, there's no coincidence here, Britt. I don't believe in coincidence by any stretch. I just think that everyone know who's been around LeBron, who's been around the Lakers organization, knows LeBron is pretty much running the ship there, if you will. He's
Hmm.
calling the shots, whatever whatever term you want to use. We know JJ is this guy. He's the coach. His son is drafted. I mean, the writings on the wall. I mean, we really don't have to be huge basketball fans to see exactly what is taking place there. And for guys to jump ship, they just understand what it's about. It's about LeBron, being the guy and running the ship. And guys don't want to play under LeBron or play with LeBron or under LeBron as well. If you want to look at it, from the a standpoint of being, him being that guy who's calling the shots. Right? You can say Rob Pelinka is the the GM, and JJ Redick is the head coach, but we know who's pulling all the strings there and pushing all the buttons. I call them the right buttons. Although I do think they got Connect. I think that was a good pick for them. But yeah, I just think when you look at these guys, headed for the hills, you know why? Because LeBron is a guy that they don't want to play with or play for.
Yeah, I would love to say I disagree, but okay, well, I agree with you. I don't think these free agents, they feel like Clutch Sports, along with LeBron, they have so much control within this organization. I'm just not sure if they want to fall underneath that. And this doesn't mean that they won't get any free agents. There are going to be some players that come to the Lakers. But I just feel like with everything that's going on, it just seems to be like a big circus all of a sudden in LA the last couple years, and I don't know if players want to take part in it. They really just want to focus on the game of basketball, competing on the highest level. But all this unnecessary attention, I just don't know if they want to be involved in this. And like K. said, LeBron is in control of all of this, whether we believe it or not. If he voices his opinion, they're going to listen and they are going to follow suit. It's not a coincidence, guys, that his podcast friend JJ is the head coach. It's not a coincidence that his son is on the team. He is at the center of all of this. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it becomes what Dalton Schultz said about the Cowboys. It becomes somewhat of a zoo. You just want to focus on playing basketball and not focus on the unnecessary stuff. It creates too much of an issue within that locker room. And it's like, who do you go to? Who can you trust? But everybody's going to have to listen to LeBron. And another thing is money. Let's be real. LA is expensive. And in this market, LA is expensive. So if you're making so much money, that income tax or that tax, that's probably going to be half your paycheck there. So that's probably the second thing. But Jay, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, I agree with what you guys said. And I would just add to that, like a lot of these free agents, especially some of the older ones, they want to win, right? And there are teams that are more ready-made to win right now. And the Lakers just aren't in that position. So I think saying, hey, if I want to win a championship, going to the Lakers probably isn't my best bet right now. So I think that's part of it. And also, Britt, you kind of alluded to it. Like the organization just feels messy right now, right? Like whether it's firing coaches every year or every couple of years, they don't really have a lot of money to really pay guys what they're worth. So I think in addition to LeBron, there's all kind of other issues as well that keep top level free agents away from wanting to go there. Now you're right, Britt. They might end up getting a second or third tier guy, but I don't think they haven't been able to get anyone that's going to make an impact. So between they're not really championship ready and just the whole messiness of the organization, that's what's keeping people away.
And my
Yes.
question is, when is LeBron? I know it's not going to be anytime in the near future, but when is LeBron going to actually get the title of GM? And because I know that's what he's gunning for. We know LeBron has a lot of GM in him. We saw him in the All-Star games where him and KD were picking. He had his book and everything. KD going over the top of his head. This guy has the book and everything. So I'm really curious to know if you guys really believe at some point will LeBron James be the GM of the Lakers or any other team for that matter.
Go ahead,
I
Britt.
don't know. I don't know if he'll be the GM. I think he's gunning for that Michael Jordan type title. I think he wants to become owner of a franchise one day. Um,
So
I'm
Jerry
fine with
Jones. So
it.
he wants to be a
Right.
Jerry Jones fan. Okay.
Right. I'm okay if you want to become an owner. I just say don't be the owner
And
and a
GM.
GM.
And the
Please don't.
GM.
I feel like you're gonna mess everything up just like a
I can
Jerry
see
Jones
LeBron doing that.
is going on. As we can see, his decision making as a GM is not the best. Also, so you might be, have high IQ on the court, but that's different when you got to make player decisions or operation decisions. That's completely different, and he's not the best of that. But Jay,
No,
what
I
you got to
agree.
say
Like,
on
I
that?
think he's got too much money to be a GM. If it's either going to be ownership or something else, I don't think he
Hmm.
would just want to like work for an organization and be the GM. I could see
Right.
him wanting to own a team, absolutely. But to your point, K Walk, even as the owner, hey, if you're the owner, you can pull any string you want. You
Jerry
ain't
Jones.
answering to
Jerry
anybody. So
Jerry
I think
Jones.
I think that probably fits him a little bit more than just being a GM for somebody.
Absolutely. So we got a couple comments here from Tony. He said, "Update, Brittany. LeBron has announced he's not taking that pay cut because the Lakers weren't able to land PG Clay or Jonas Van Chunas. I can't say it.
Valanciunas,
The
yeah.
Valanciunas. Thank you. Jeez. The Lakers then signed Matt Christie to a 4-year, $32 million deal. So there you go. Thank you for that update, Tony. I appreciate it. Please update us live as well."
Yeah, and one of the things
um,
too, like especially with that Christie signing, like the Lakers have been talking a lot about development, and they signed Christie, and they look at him as a developmental player, somebody that they can invest 2 years into, and then hopefully, he hits his potential. So that's sort of the course they're going with some of these signings.
Yeah, that sounds like what T Perfect just said. AD deserves better than that, Circus. It sounds like they're not planning on winning the championship anytime soon. So it's going to be curious to see how long AD will want to stay there. I mean, he has to be healthy to want to say I want to move somewhere else to have his say so, but at the same time, the talent that he has in itself, he does deserve to go somewhere where he doesn't have to deal with all this nonsense, can focus on basketball and hopefully contend. Any final thoughts on this?
No, I'm
Nah,
good.
I'm good. I'm done with
All right,
that.
we got a question before we go to the next topic from T Perfect. This is interesting. It says, who's the panel's all-time top five? Mike goes Mike, Kareem, Bron, Hakeem, and Duncan. I won't. It's not one of our topics. If one of us just want to answer it real quick, who your top five is, be my guess.
Top five is that? No,
I got
that's
Mike.
starting.
I got
Go ahead.
Mike and Kareem for sure. No question
Yeah.
about
Mm-hmm.
that. I LeBron would be in my top five as well. Um, and then after that, I usually put Hakeem in my top five, and
Yeah, he's in mine.
I think I'd maybe squeeze Kobe in there potentially. It's always changing, but Mike, Kareem, LeBron, and the Dream, a solid four. That fifth spot, depending on the day of the week,
Mm-hmm.
it might change for me.
Hey, Walk, you want to say yours real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I got MJ, of course. I do have Hakeem on there as well. I have Magic as one in my top five. The big fundamental has always been I like KG over. I like the big ticket over Duncan. This
Mm-hmm.
he's in my top five as well. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I got Pip. I got Scottie Pippen in there as well, man. I know that's different, but Scottie Pippen, I think, is one of the most, if not the most underrated player in the history of the game, man. I just would think everything that he's able to do, and I just not with Mike, but what he brought to that Portland team as well. So yeah, I'm going to go. But based off of this, I got MJ as well, and the Dream.
Even
Yeah.
if I even if I thought Pippen was a top 5 player, I could no
I wouldn't
longer
even
put him in
know.
my top 5
wouldn't.
based off all the things he's been saying and doing.
I don't care about all that,
I
Jay.
couldn't do it. I couldn't
Yeah,
do it, man.
Jay, it's the art. It's the art, not the artist. So that's how I look at it. It's the art, not the artist. So it's the player, not the person.
I got you.
Yeah, Tony, like what? Walk Pippen?
Yeah, man, I got Pip. Yeah, man, I'm sorry, man.
Don't
Hey,
worry.
it's your list. It's your list. I got my list. Pip is my guy, man. At that 3 spot every time, all day, every day, and twice on Sundays, man. For real.
Well, for me, Mike, of course. I got Kobe in my top 5. Kareem. I got Hakeem. And then they don't allow me to put him in there because he never won any championships. But I put AI in there, so but they make me kick him out. They make me kick him out because he never won a ring. So, I think based off talent, he should be up there ring wise. Absolutely not. But I'm gonna keep him in there for now until I just don't feel like putting him in there. So AI, I'm probably the only one in the entire world that got you in her top 5, but you're in my top 5. All right, guys.
Come on, Tony. Let me see those eyes in that comment for that too.
Nope. Tony got my back. He said AI top 5. Well, he said
top 5 icon.
I just read that.
Icon is different.
Yeah.
So he kind of got my back. Sort of, kind of, but not really.
Yeah, right. Come on, man. I got my bar got to be negative. No,
I'm gonna take it.